There's a lot of creepypasta stories out there, all designed to give you a good fright. But what would you do if a scary story came to life? From SLENDERMAN convincing people to harm their family members, to a creepypasta being based off of a real kidnapping. Let's talk about these and more only in today's video. Top 10 Scary Real Life Creepypastas, Part 2. Starting off this countdown, we have The Year Was 1991. This is a creepypasta about someone witnessing Michael Donaghy get abducted from a playground. Some man rolled up in a bear costume and lured him in with promises of candy and games. It ends with the narrator apologizing, wishing he could have done more for Michael. And guess what? This is based off of a true story. On March 24th, 1991, Michael Donaghy went missing from a playground at his school. To this day, he still hasn't been found. What's even creepier is that the author of this creepypasta went by the name I'm Sorry Michael. So it makes us wonder if this person actually did witness Michael's kidnapping. He tried to help him and then failed. Maybe this was his way of releasing some of the guilt that's been building up inside of him. Before I go any further, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up because it really helps us out. Moving on to number 9, we have Crybaby Lane. Crybaby Lane is a creepypasta about a very disturbed man that used to work at Nickelodeon Studios. His name was Peter Lawyer. He was a director over there. The only problem is that all the ideas he pitched were always very dark and disturbing. That's when the movie Crybaby Lane comes into play. For this movie, Peter wanted it about Siamese twins that were so starved that they resorted to eating each other. They clawed at each other's eyes until one of them passed away. While pitching this idea, he started showing images for inspiration, like images of real people with their limbs hacked off. In the end, he created this film called Crybaby Lane, and parents were outraged at how disturbing it was, when it was meant to be for kids. Well, guess what? Crybaby Lane is a real Nickelodeon film. It was released in 2000, but was quickly pulled from air and never seen again. This was because the film was too controversial and too dark to be a kids movie. It's now considered a real lost film. Moving on to number 8, we have Jeff the Killer. According to multiple articles, the story of Jeff the Killer is based off of a true story. So first, who is Jeff the Killer? Basically, Jeff was a young boy whose face was burnt off with acid and then was set on fire. His face became extremely terrifying looking, but he actually loved his new appearance. He also tried burning out his own eyelids, and then he carved a smile up his cheeks. He will then hide in your closet, and when you go to sleep, he will kill you. Apparently, Jeff was based off a real boy who got set on fire and it left his face extremely disfigured. Not only that, but you know the image that they use as Jeff? Turns out that that is a Photoshop photo of a girl named Katie Robinson. In 2008, Katie posted her picture on 4chan and people immediately began making fun of her weight. And that's when people began to edit this photo. Later, it was revealed that Katie took her own life from all the hate and bullying she received. Knowing all of this just makes the story of Jeff the Killer that much more disturbing. In our 7th spot, we have The Watcher. I mean, there are tons of creepypastas out there when somebody feels like somebody's watching them. Then maybe they get a message like, aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light? Or why do you look so afraid? Blah blah, you get it. Well, there are a number of real life stories out there about this exact thing happening in real life. One night, a 16-year-old girl in England got a text from a random number. It said, I'm watching you. The number told her that he was going to hang himself from her bedroom window and that he was in her house. That night, she was so freaked out that she slept in her mom's room. And it's a good thing that she did. The next morning, she went back to her room and found the guy who had been texting her asleep under her bed. That is absolutely horrifying. I am always locking my doors from now on, and I'm gonna install like a whole high-tech security system too. Like, damn, that's terrifying. Moving on to number 6, we have the Pope Lick Monster. So this is a weird cryptid slash creepypasta slash urban legend. The Pope Lick Monster is a creature that is a mix of a human and a goat. It then lives on top of a railway bridge in Kentucky. If you go there alone at night, then the monster will hypnotize you and will lead you to him. He will then convince you to stand on top of the bridge where a train passes, and will wait until you get hit by that train. Well, guess what? This monster has been blamed for a number of real-life deaths, some of which were people who were out looking for this monster and then got hit by the train by accident. The number of deaths in the area actually got so high that they now imposed a law that you can't go there and you could be prosecuted for trespassing. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the well to hell. Legend goes that Russian geologists were drilling a well searching for oil or natural gas, when all of a sudden they felt a blast of heat shoot out from the well. From there, they heard these weird noises. It sounded as if someone was screaming for help. Another version of this creepypasta claims that 13 workers died after the devil crawled out of the hole and then dragged them down with him to hell. Well, guess what? This is a real well. Geologists in Russia have created a super deep borehole. The hole goes 40,000 feet down to the Earth's crust. And guess what? They have heard strange noises coming out of it. Nothing like screams, but still, they've heard some weird, unexplainable sounds that have startled them. Coming in at number 4, we have the Bunny Man. The story of the Bunny Man is quite unsettling. And no, it's not about the Easter Bunny. Basically, the story revolves around a patient of a mental asylum who one day managed to escape. He would then gut bunnies and hang them from a bridge underpass, giving him the name the Bunny Man. Things got worse when he started to target humans. Well, guess what? The Bunny Man is somewhat real. In October of 1970, people reported seeing this bunny man around town. It was a man dressed up in a bunny costume that would chase people and throw a hatchet at them. This happened to one couple who had the bunny man throw a hatchet at their car windshield. The next sighting was from a security guard who saw this man with a hatchet hacking away at a porch railing. When confronted, he ran away. No one has been able to catch this man, and as creepy as he is, there's no evidence that he has actually murdered anyone. Thankfully. But still, this whole bunny thing doesn't sit right with me. In our 3rd spot, we have the Candyman. The Candyman is an urban legend slash creepypasta based off of the short story by Clive Barker. And then they had the whole movie adaptation of it. Legend goes that if you look in the mirror and chant his name 5 times, then he will appear. Then he'll come out of the cabinet and then murder you. In 1987, the Candyman came to life. A woman named Ruth McCoy was killed after 2 men climbed through her medicine cabinet and then shot her. These men used the same method of killing that the Candyman would use. They broke through the connecting wall of Ruth's apartment and entered her home through her cabinet. That is absolutely horrifying. Moving on at number 2, we have Laughing Jack. Laughing Jack is a clown-type creature with long arms and a creepy big smile, which is always plastered on his face. Always. Jack's goal is to befriend children and then fool them into trusting him. Well, in 2015, a girl stabbed her stepmother to death and then set her whole house on fire. Well, guess what? When interviewed, she claimed that Laughing Jack told her to do it. In the end, I think the girl was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, and she claimed that she would hear voices in her head. And in our number 1 spot, we have SLENDERMAN. I'm sure you all know the story of SLENDERMAN by now. The 15-foot tall creature that is always seen wearing a classy form-fitting tux, which must be custom made because it fits his tall, lanky body so well. SLENDERMAN is known to primarily prey on young people. In 2014, a girl stabbed her mother multiple times. Apparently, she did this out of orders from SLENDERMAN. Thankfully, the mom survived. But the mom said that she came home one night and her daughter was just waiting for her in the kitchen wearing a white mask and holding a knife. I swear, this is the reason why I'm never having kids. Joking. Maybe, who knows, but kids are pretty whack nowadays. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know which one of these stories creeped you out the most. And now let's move on to our comment shout out portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video, top 10 scary artifacts that prove time travel is real. Rose Pond commented, sounds like Ross from Friends finally found a time machine. I'm so glad that somebody commented that because as soon as I said paleontologist, I automatically think of Ross from Friends. I just can't help it, okay? And then I think of Joey being like, occupation, dinosaurs. Gotta watch too much Friends, I love it. Jackson commented, it's amazing how we talk more with our hands when our nails have been done. Yeah, I did my own nails like last week. I did them myself, I didn't go to nail salon, okay, because COVID, I ain't going there. But I am more like, oh, look at my nails. They just look so good, okay? But now I'm back to crusty, low, regular nails. Sentinent Viper commented, I busted out laughing when she referenced and mimicked Jerry Seinfeld. Again, thank you for getting my reference. What's up with that? Jerry Seinfeld, he always talks like this. Sorry. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya.